Thursday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the road in Buffalo taking on the Bills. My favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Let's absolutely dominate Week 8. Now, on a somber note, I am not going to hide it. I have sucked this NFL season. Let's put up my record on the screen. Last week, 0-3 on game picks. Those have to go to the shelf because we have not done well on those this year. And player props, man, we had some bad breaks in there. The most notable one, Brandon Ayuk on Monday Night Football. Boy, had 57 yards first half. Nothing. Second half, all we needed was 71. It's been a bad season. Look, I'm not one to hide from it. I've always been transparent. We've never had a losing season. That's the truth. And man, it just has been bad. We've had some bad breaks. I've had some bad reads, and it's time to lock in. Look, you guys come to these videos, and I certainly appreciate you guys for watching them. You come for winning picks, and I've not been delivering. So you have my promise. I'm going to lock in the rest of the season. We're going to turn that, -9 units into a positive number, and hopefully we can turn it into plus 20, 25 units, maybe even more, because I think we're just turning the corner. We're going to turn the corner. We're going to have a great season. I'm confident in that. I put a lot of work in. You see I'm on the road and not in my normal setup. We are in San Antonio filming some videos for the second channel. You can go check out that top link in the description. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for my favorite picks and Buccaneers Bills. Let's dive into the first one. It's going to be a running back, but it's not what his rushing yards. I'm going with Rachaad White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like his over 21.5 receiving yards, which is currently minus 115 on BetMGM. Now, I am recording this, Wednesday around 5 or 6 p.m., but I don't really know how this line changes. I can't imagine it goes up a ton. Maybe it goes to 22.5, but I still would probably play it there. And I really do think this is a good line for Rachaad White. As you look at the Buccaneers, they are 9.5-ish point favorites or underdogs on the road. So this could be a game where we see the Buffalo Bills get up early. We're seeing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to throw it a lot. Also, we've just seen this season, the Bucs cannot get anything going on the ground, whether it's Rachaad White, Keyshawn Vaughn, anyone out there. Their best running game sometimes has been Baker Mayfield scrambling. This team just can't get anything going on the ground. So they're going to lean towards the air, and we've seen Rachaad White be the beneficiary of that. I'll just put up his game log on the screen. I'm not going to read off every single one of those. The most recent game, 6 receptions for 65 receiving yards. Pretty solid. He is over this line in 4 of 6 games and in 2 of 3 games in which the Buccaneers have lost. Obviously, if they are losing this game, which it does project they should be, we'll get some positive game script where we're seeing the Buccaneers not run it a whole lot, although they don't run it a whole lot as is, but also throwing it more. And hopefully, you'll see if they are losing that we'll see the Bills and their notorious cover 2. This is a team that plays a ton of cover 2 defense. What that means, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they're great safeties, are both playing deep. So you're trying to limit those big plays, and you're leaving the guys open, underneath, whether it's in the flats, which is normally where Rachaad White is, or just for those dump offs, which is what Rachaad White is. He's not going deep. If he catches a deep ball, then I don't know what the heck happened. But I do think that we're going to see this Bills secondary focus, obviously on Mike Evans, obviously on Chris Godwin. So I think Rachaad White's going to have some open opportunities, and we've seen when this played a lot of cover 2, we've seen running backs have good receiving days against them. Last week, the Bills, when they lost to the Patriots, they allowed Ramondre Stevenson 6 receptions for 51 yards. We also have seen ETN at 48 receiving yards. Mostert had 36. His fullback, you saw Alec Ingold at 23. Devon Achane, he had 19. All in the same game. You saw Josh Jacobs at 51. Dalvin Cook at 26 yards. So all these guys have been hitting this over pretty consistently against the Buffalo Bills, and that's, like I said, they play a lot of cover 2. You're going to funnel some receptions to opposing running backs, and that's what's been the case. The Bills have allowed a running back to have 3 catches or more in every game this season. Now, some of the guys get 3 catches and don't do anything with it. You look at Saquon Barkley a few weeks ago, 4 receptions, 5 yards. Now, obviously, the Bills were a little bit more, concentrated on where Saquon was on the field, given, the Giants don't have a ton of playmakers. So obviously they're not going to be as concerned about Rachaad White, given they got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Those guys are going to try to stretch the football field. And I think we're going to see Rachaad White have some open opportunities. Not a lot of competition for him in the Buccaneers backfield, playing about 75% of snaps. A little concerned about Chase Edmonds, who has been activated from the IR and will likely play in this game, but I really can't see him stealing, 15 snaps. Maybe he goes out there 3-5 snaps. I still do think if they get into a 2-minute drill, Rachaad White's that guy. They're in a passing script. Rachaad White's that guy. They trust him in pass protection as well. So look, I like Rachaad. I think I don't normally take a ton of reception or receiving yard props for running backs, but I think this is a good one to back. Rachaad White, I like his over 21.5 receiving yards first play of this Thursday night game. And my second play is going to be one you might recognize, one that actually cost us some money last weekend. It was Gabriel Davis. I like his over 19.5 yards for his longest reception, which is currently minus 120 on DraftKings. Now, if you can, try to get this line at 19.5. I don't really think it moves up, but it could. We've seen lines obviously move up, and especially with a yards longest reception line, these can sometimes be pretty sharp. We'll see that one difference, and he lands on a 20-yarder, and people took it at 20.5. So definitely try to get 19.5. It was 19.5 across all books that I saw as I record this. FanDuel's the only one that didn't have it, and it's because they don't have a line right now, but I imagine it drops at 19.5. And like I said, last week we took the same prop. It was 18.5 last week, and Gabe Davis, nope, didn't deliver. And I know based on my NFL luck this year, which I have had no luck whatsoever, it's that Gabe Davis will go out there and cash this in the first quarter. And normally I wouldn't be running it back because I just have PTSD from last week. But I'm running it back because I know Gabe Davis is coming through for us. I just know he will. And he had his opportunities last week. It's not like, hey, this guy did nothing. If you look at the game, sure, he didn't look like he did much because he had one reception for 6 yards, but did have 5 total targets, total of 78 air yards. Now, air yards don't do us anything. I ain't gonna lie to you. If he has 150 air yards, doesn't matter unless he gets a 20-yard reception. But I still do think the Bills are a team that still targeted him deep, just could not connect with Josh Allen. And you saw the Patriots defense, they stepped up last week. They were able to limit Stephon Diggs as well. Really, Dalton Kincaid was the one guy that had a good day for the Bills receiving core. So we've seen over the past few seasons what the Bucs are great at doing defensively. Stopping the run. We see a lot of teams just say, you know what, we're done running the ball. Let's go pass the ball against this vulnerable secondary. And we've seen that. This is the Bucs defensive, front seven, very, very good. Vita Vea looks like he will be a game time decision, but still their schemes, I think, will limit that run. And this is the Bills team that they've run it a little bit more this season, but years past, we've seen the Bills just kind of abandon the run as is, put the ball in Josh Allen's hands. And so I think Gabe Davis will get a ton of one-on-one opportunities. Todd Bowles, the head coach for the Bucs, he's not dumb. He knows Stephon Diggs is going to get the ball. So whatever defense in their secondary they got, they're going to try their best to limit Stephon Diggs, and he'll probably still get his. But still think that Gabe Davis will have plenty of opportunities. If he gets another 5 targets, I'll live with it. This season, we've seen Gabe Davis, he's averaged 15.8 yards per catch. So his average yards per catch is close to this line, and we've seen him have a long reception of 26, 40, 35, 34, 29, and then these last 2 weeks, only 9 and 6 yards for his longest reception. But you look at those air yards, like I talked about. Air yard is just they throw it deep to him and maybe he doesn't catch it. Maybe it's a 40-yard pass. That would count as 40 air yards. But you've seen 70, 76, 100, 52, 111, 37, and 78 yards. So besides, that 37 one, his 78 yards was right on par with what he had done the first 5 weeks of the season when he cashed this over. So I think the air yards will continue to be there. And this is a game that he's going to have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And I think Josh Allen trusts this guy enough, especially at home, to go up there and make a play. And I'm not saying, he houses some, he mosses someone, he gets a 70-yard reception. We only need 20 yards. That could be a 10-yarder. He maybe makes the guy miss and goes up the field for another 10 yards. That's a 20-yard reception. We win. But we've seen the Buccaneers secondary, like I said, hasn't been great. Last week, they allowed 3 players on the Falcons, so have a 35-yard reception. Not just 20, 35-yard reception. They also allowed another 2 to have an 18 and 19-yard reception. So getting real close to this line. The week before that, 3 Lions had a 20-yard reception hitting this over, and they also had 2 more with a 19-yard reception. If Gabe Davis gets a 19-yard reception, I'll say it. That sounds about right based on how my NFL season has gone so far. But they just have not been a very good secondary. They lost some guys in free agency. It just has not looked great. The front seven, very good. The backside of it, the safeties and the cornerbacks, I don't trust a whole lot. So Gabe Davis, please don't hurt us again. I have a lot of faith in you, man. I know you can come through for us. So Gabe Davis, over 19.5 yards for his longest reception. It only takes 1, and I have a feeling it's coming in the first quarter, hopefully the first half by the longest that it takes him. But I like Gabe Davis once again on Thursday night. Don't hurt us again. I have faith in you. But those are my 2 favorite plays of the day. If you wanted my lean on the game, truthfully, I don't have one. I've sucked on game picks, and I had to take a week off of even looking at the spreads. I'll still look at them a little for Sunday to kind of gauge how I think the games are going to go, but game picks have just not been hitting this season. But as always, leave your game pick down below. Obviously, you guys are always spoon-feeding the people winners out there, so leave your favorite picks for this Thursday night game in the comments, and I'm sure people will take advantage of the winners you guys keep dropping. I just dropped 2 winners for you. Let's go 2-0. Let's start to win back some units. Let's absolutely dominate the rest of the NFL season. We still got tons of more games, so let's try to dominate. If you want to go check out our NBA Best Bets video, definitely go check out that. I'll post the Thursday one when it is live somewhere on the screen, and go check out the second channel where we're recording some videos as we speak for that. So, of course, my name's Austin. I'm signing out. Let's have a great rest of the NFL season and a great NBA season as is. Let's dominate. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.